It's CJ Fisher of DFS Academy, and today we're going to be learning the song Thank God I'm Free, and we're going to be doing it in the key of E, right? All right, so if you don't know the key of E, we're going to talk about the scale really quick. So we got E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then we're back to E. Again, that scale is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then we're back to E. And then we give our chords, right? Now we're going to be talking in numbers because it's going to really help us out. If you haven't checked out the harmonic framework course, definitely you should check it out because we introduce these things and we talk about things in numbers, and we give you chords on all the numbers to be able to understand how to play through and understand the number system. So it's really cool. So you should check it out. We'll leave a link below, but make sure you download also the free PDF of this chart. And we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna be reading this chart to save us a lot of time. Instead of us trying to figure everything out by ear, we made the chart available, and we're gonna follow along with the chart as much as possible, and then we're gonna teach you some nuanced things that are not specifically written in the part, but are like kind of given during the piano part. And then we're gonna solo the piano part so we can try to get it as replicated as much as possible. All right, so let's start with the top of the song. If I look at the top of the song, I know for sure that if I'm looking at my chart, it starts on an E chord, right? Right, regular E chord, and then the bass, I know it's a E. It's like an octave E, which means I'm gonna play a low E and then a high E together. Right, so if I play along from the top, we're gonna have E. So here we go. One,
Intro.
two,
2, 3, 4.
E. Right. So let's catch that right there. That line right there. That da, 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 da. So we got G sharp, B, G sharp, B, C sharp, E, and then G sharp again, an octave up. So we're gonna hit the E, and then we're gonna play that line, and then we're gonna have E, 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 right? So, and then they do this thing, right? Right, which is it's the line, but the line harmonized. So what? Right, so I'm doing like a fourth, which is a B and an E together, and then I'm putting that E, that G sharp at the top, right, which turns this into a B sus, right? Bum, bum, bum. And then I'm playing, right? So I'm keeping my bottom two notes the same, and then, right? So the whole thing together, we're playing an E with that line. Right, that E is gonna stay there. Right? And then the next thing happens is we do the same thing, same line again, but the bass notes is going to change now. And we're a C sharp minor, where we're going to play a C sharp in the bass, and then an A major. Right? It says A major right there. So A major 7. We could say A major 7 because it has the A in there. But right, so now we have the line, C sharp in the bass. And if you can't play a double octave, meaning this one and this one, you can just play one of them. And then A, where we play that melody. And then, right, and that's that walk down that happens, right? You can do it with the octave. And then we play that line again. The whole thing together, we got the first one. Starts with the E in the bass when we play the line. Do, 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 do. E, E, E. And then we got C sharp with the same line again. Bo, do, 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 do. And then we got the walk down. A, G sharp, E. And then we play that line again. And then we're going to then we are at the verse by that part. Right? So let's play it along with the track now so you can see how it goes. We're also going to solo the piano part really quick. Let's just listen to what the piano part is by itself. So we're going to hear it. Here we go. All right, so even on the piano part, they didn't even play the line the second time. That's the guitar doing that, so they just do the chord. So, uh, right, and then the E. So they just hit the then the A, and then the E, da, 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 just like it is in the chart. So the first time we play the line, and then we're playing the line actually a double octave. So we're playing an A, G sharp up here, and then we're gonna play G sharp at the top. So I'm doing that with my thumb and my pinky to play that line. Boom, dum, dum, and then boom, 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 and then we play the line. Dun, 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 dun. And then we go straight to the C sharp minor, A major, and then E. Right? And then we're into the verse. Right? Now the cool thing about this is that this part is gonna go happen multiple times, so it's gonna be cool. So we already know it. So let's go to the verse and listen to what's happening on the verse part. All right, so we got so we have that. So that same perfect fourth where we got the B and E there, right? So I'm literally only moving one note at the top. So that B and E, and move it to the F sharp. And then I'm gonna move that B down a half step. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna use that E down a half step. Right? Just moving that D E down to that D sharp. Right? And then I'm doing the bass notes. So we're gonna have an E over G sharp right there. So we have a G sharp in the bass. So we have that right? And then we're gonna have an A in the bass. We're gonna play the same thing. And then we're gonna play an E in the bass. And then we're gonna move this E down to an E, a D sharp. And then we do the same thing, but now we're gonna do a C sharp in the bass. B in the bass. And then we're gonna play an A in the bass, and we're gonna play that line. Right? And that's just up the E scale. I think the melody is close to that. Let's double check that. Let's listen one more time. We'll try to play along with it. right? And then when we went to the first one, right, it went right, right. It walked up from the B, C sharp to the D sharp, and then played it together, right? I know it's a little bit faster in tempo, but you can work this up. The great thing you could do is like pull the tempo down. So like I would play this along with like YouTube, and then I would go like half the speed so I can get it, and then I would do 75% of the speed, and then I would do it that way, right? So let's try it one more time. We're gonna try it with the track this time. I'm gonna pull the volume up of this track, piano track, just a little bit so we can kind of hear it. Here we go. We're gonna go back a little bit. And I'm gonna turn this click on just so we can kind of hear it a little bit of timing. Here we go. And, right, so that's second one is dun, 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 dun. Right, that second half. So it's C sharp on the C sharp, dun, 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 B, oh, da, 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 da. Right, and then we got that line on the over the A. So the second half again is right. Remember, all I'm doing is keeping that B there, and I'm moving my right. So right. So the whole thing would be right, the G sharp minor 7, which is that or sorry, G over E, basically. Right? G sharp over E, sorry. Dun, 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 to the A, same thing again. Dun, 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 with the E in the bass now. Dun, dun, dun. Now half step down on that to the D sharp right there. Then back to the same thing again, but now you're playing a C sharp in the bass. And then B in the bass now. And then now we play the and then the A and we play the line. Right? And from my fingers I'm keeping my thumb on that beat, and that's kind of what's helping me to kind of play a little, and I'm using my third finger and then these two fingers to kind of move up and down when I'm playing these notes at the top. Right? Right? So we have that part. Let's play it along with the track and see what we got. Here we go. We're going up tempo. My bad. There we go. Same thing again. All right there. So the second time they win. Right? All right, just over that A right there. Right? and then they're on to the next part, right? So after that, we're on to the chorus. Right now, the cool thing about the chorus is that the chorus changes, the notes, the chord changes are exactly the same. So the chorus is and an E, da 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 da. It's literally the exact same changes as the verse. Literally, if we look at it, it's a mirror image. So let's check out what the piano part sounds like though on the chorus. Right, so let's catch that. So we got the uh right, right. I think it's on. It went down. Let's double check that. But the chord changes are the same, and then they play that part in the. All right, we're taking a repeat. Yeah. Right. So it literally it's the same thing, but now when we get to the sharp six, we go to so that's the C, a sharp six. I'm sorry, the C sharp, and then we play line, the right. So C sharp and the bass, and on the B, and then we'll go to the A. I'm sorry, to the E. So we got C sharp, then and then wait, is that the? Let's double check that. It sounds right, but you see this, you know? So we're at the E, C sharp minor, A. Okay, E right there. All right, so now, boom. On my chart, I think I'm missing a repeat of the second line. So we got oh, it's over the E over G. Let me turn the let me go back here. Okay, and then E, C sharp minor, now E. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's what it is. It's not a C sharp minor, it's a E sharp, the E over G sharp. And we play that line. Right, so everything else is the same. And then the chords are the same, right? Right? So exactly the same. So let me do this, I'll probably edit this to put this in the front instead of the back. Let's talk about all the chords that we're gonna play before we get there. If we're gonna have an E chord, you're gonna play an E, which is E G B. Right? Sometimes we might play like an E sus, or like a perfect fifth on the E, or we might play the 5, or we might play the perfect fifth, which is E B E, and then we move this note. We move the top notes. All right. When we have a C sharp minor, our C sharp minor 7 is going to be it. All right. So C sharp, E, G sharp, B, and then E again. So C sharp, E, G sharp, B, and then E. All right. That's going to be our C sharp minor. When we have an A chord, we're either playing an A regular, right? I like to do a sus2, which is going to be an A in the bass, and then an A and a B and an E, right? That's a really great chord. It's a sus2 voicing. We talk about sus2 voicings in the actual course, so you should definitely check it out. Right? So A sus2, right? We have our E over G sharp, which means that we're going to play an E in the bass. A E in the right hand, and then we're going to play a G sharp in the bass, right? So the way I'm voicing it is G sharp, B, and then E, right? And then we have a chord that's going to be a B over E, which means we're going to play a B regular chord, and then we're going to have a E in the bass, right? Now you see it says like E sus2, right? Because that's like a technical name for it. But if we look, we have a B chord over here, and we have an E in the bass, and that helps, right? And we have a regular E chord that we talked about. We have a E G sharp B, right? And then we also have the E sus4, right? Which is going to be a E A B, and then E. So you can think of it like the A sus2, but we're going to change the bass note, and then we're going to make it an E. Now it's going to be an E sus2. E sus4. All right? Which is really cool. Right? So we literally can just change the bass note, and it becomes 2 different chords. Right? A sus2 and then E sus4. Right? And I think that's pretty much most of the chords that we're going to play. If we look at the second page, the only chord that we haven't talked about is a F sharp minor, right? Which I don't even know it should be there. We'll double check. F sharp minor is going to be F sharp, A, C sharp. So we have an F sharp minor, F sharp, A, C sharp, E. Right? And then we have our A sus2. We have our B over D sharp, which is a B chord here. And then we're going to have a D sharp in the bass. Right? And that's pretty much all the chords that we have, which is really cool because we don't have that many chords. If we realistically look, it's like maybe like 6 chords. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 chords the whole song or something like that. I don't know. I'm guesstimating because I didn't actually count. All right, let's keep going on with this portion of the song. All right, so let's jump to the tag. So we went through the chorus. The chorus verse changes are exactly the same with the exception of the small little line, like the lines that we're either doing doubling with the octaves, right? Or we're doing like something a specific line where we're playing the fourths. or we keep that E and B there, right? So a lot of it is pretty much the same from the intro all the way up into the verse. So now we're gonna jump to the tag and let's listen to what's happening on the tag. All right, so same thing that happened at the beginning. Right, we went over the right. So now we're at the second verse. Second verse is gonna be very similar to the first verse. The changes are gonna be the same, right? Right. All we have different there is at the end we just have a build. So at the end of the second verse, we're gonna build on that E. So we have the C sharp minor on the second line. And we're just building on that E, and that's gonna take us into the chorus. Now this chorus, I believe, is exactly the same as the chorus that's there, right? Yeah, same thing. A little bit embellishments, but right there. All right, so we have the all right, so let's talk about that part. So we're over the E now, and we have that B over E that's in the chart. We're at the bridge, the first bridge. We have the E over B. We have B in the bass, and then we have a E and the voice in a B, E, G sharp, and then we have our E sus4, right, which we said is a A, B, E, right? Right, because if the regular E feels too consonant or feels too settled, so we got right. So we have B, right, because if it went, that sounds too settled, right? So this is why we're doing the E sus4 instead of the regular E, right? So again, B, and then E, and then right. Now, on our second bridge, we have the same thing again. But now the bass notes are going to change. So we're going to have a B over D sharp. Then we have that E again. And now we have a sus2, which is what we were playing already with the E sus4, but the A in the bass. Right, and then we do the same thing again. Sorry, D sharp over B, B, E major, right, with the B, E, F sharp there. I'm sorry, G sharp, and then the A sus2 again, then the A sus2, right, and then that's gonna repeat. The tag is the same. You're gonna have the same thing. Ba ba bum. This is more for the drummer. The drummer kind of changes the perspective on how they play the hits, but pretty much the same thing. So let's try it along with the track. All right, we're at the second bridge. Same thing again. keep wanting to play D. Tag again, same thing. All right, so we got the, what is that? I think we did. What was that line? Let's figure out what that line is. Oh, let's do it one more time. So so one more time, we got alright. So F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and then B. So F sharp, G sharp. Oh, it's only 2 notes. Boom, 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 boom. I think it's just 2 notes. I want to play it like I hear it. So let's listen to it one more time. So the dun dun. I think that's the first time it goes to a different note. It doesn't do the full line. It goes to like a weird. I wanted to go there, but I think it doesn't go all the way to the actual E. All right. Oh, it does go to the E. And then the second time it changes. So we got F sharp, G sharp, B, A, then G sharp and then E. All right, so it goes back to the E. So boom, 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 ba, 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 boom, 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 and then it goes down, boom, 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 goes down to the E, and then boom, and then boom, and then I think it goes to the last chord. So let's try it one more time with that. And we're into the actual chord. So F sharp, G sharp, and then B, A. All right, just down the line. And then we're back down to there again, right? Let's listen to this play along. So just going bam, bam, bam. I'm trying to see if I hear ba da dum or bam, bum. I think I keep hearing basically a E, B, and then an E, a G sharp, and then an E. Right? Right? And then that's the only thing different in there. Now, once we get to this chorus is a cappella. Right? So there's nothing happening here but drums. So we turn the drums on so we can kind of hear what's happening. We have it solo. All right, so we're right there. So right here, we're on that second page of the chart. We have the drum break, drum break. We have the drum break, right? And then we have the measures of rest. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. We have 4 measures of rest, and then we have 5 measures, and then the 6th measure we come in with the and then that's where we go to the E, and then the F sharp minor. Sorry, and then the E over G sharp, and then the E. I mean the A, and then we're at the E, and then we're literally just going back into the chorus again, and then we're finishing out the chorus, and then literally after that, we're going back to the bridge that we already played, and the changes are the same. The tag is the same again, and then the same change at the very end is the last thing that we play, which is that B over D sharp, which we played over, and then E, and then A. Right? And E regular, and then A. Those are the last 3 chords. So let's do this coming out of this chorus, this acapella chorus. So we got the walk down, but right, and then we're into that walk up to the F sharp minor. There we go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Here we go. 1, 2. F sharp minor, E over G, A, E, D sharp minor, A, E. Now B over E. Now we're playing that same line that we played a second ago. Same thing, yeah. Now the tags. All right, that's what we did. All right. Right, those are the last couple chords, and that's the same. That's the same chords that we just talked about. So literally, if we look at it, we're literally only learning really the verse, the chorus, and the verse, the chorus, and the bridge. There's 2 versions of the bridge, which are pretty much the same chords, and then the tag, which is still a version of the bridge, and then the chorus at the end is slightly different, but the only thing that we're really changing from one part to another part is the piano, like the nuances of small things in the piano. And they're not even like nuances of like, oh, we're doing like crazy changes. It's like they'll put a line over the chord changes and stuff like that. So here's how you can approach this practice class. This will help you. First thing, this is what we'll do. Instead of playing all the lines and doing all the stuff like that, the first thing I would do is I would just play the chords in the rhythm of the band moving. It'd be a good thing, and we'll do that together right now. And then what I would do is I would dissect it. I will find the parts where the piano part was doing something specific, and I would just listen for the piano part. Now the hard thing and challenging thing is that sometimes that you don't hear the piano part inside the actual song because it's mixed really well. So the piano is like, really gelled in there. So unless I soloed this piano part, you wouldn't know sometimes all this stuff will be happening because the guitar kind of takes the lead on a lot of this stuff. So what you could do is like literally you can get the multi tracks, or you could do something like a stem separator inside Logic, and then you can have it like separate the piano part. So we're gonna play through the changes here, and we're just gonna go through things, and we'll talk through things a little bit to try to get it super solid. I'm not gonna play through it because I want to make sure you still understand what's happening. I'm also gonna turn the rest of the band on. We're gonna unsolo this piano. I'm gonna turn the BGVs on as well, the drums on as well, and we're gonna kind of take it there. But I'm gonna pull the volume down so we can still talk through the chords, talk through everything. So remember, let's talk through the intro. We got the let's listen for the intro really quick. Oh, I should unsolo the drums. That'll probably help. All right, yeah, the drum soloed. Anything else I have soloed? Oh, okay, here we go. So I have the click soloed now. Let me make sure I unsolo everything. Sorry, guys. All right, here we go.
Intro 2, 3,
so we got
4.
the line. All right, so we have that first line. Remember on the C sharp now. Right, and that's the intro. Right, we have the same thing. All right, so let's go through it from the top. We're gonna play a little bit of this. We're not gonna play out. I'm just trying to make sure you guys can kind of follow. All right, here we go from the top.
Intro 2, 3, 4.
Line.
Verse 2, 3, 4.
G sharp over E, A, and then E. Now C sharp minor, B, A. Now we're gonna repeat that.
Verse
G sharp
2,
over
3,
E,
4.
A, E again. Now C sharp, B, A. All right,
Chorus,
G
2,
over
3,
E
4.
over E, G sharp, A, and E. C sharp minor, A, E. All right, repeat it again. E over G sharp, A, E. C sharp minor, A, E. Now we're back to the
2, 3,
top.
4.
A, and now E. Here we go at the verse.
2,
E over
3,
G sharp,
4.
A, E. C sharp, B, A.
Chorus,
Right now,
2,
E over
3,
G sharp,
4.
A, E, C sharp, A, E. Same thing again, E over G sharp, A, E, C sharp minor, A, E.
Downward,
Downward
2,
bridge.
3, 4.
Right, so that's the B, E, B, E, E sus, B, E,
Bridge, 2,
right?
3, 4.
Now the bass has changed, same chords, but now D. Remember D sharp, E, and an A.
Bridge, 2, 3, 4.
Right. Then and repeat it.
Tab, 2,
And repeat
3,
that again,
4.
same thing. Repeat it again. Now
Chord,
acapella
2, 3,
drums.
4.
So we got rest. Okay. 4, maybe. 1, 2. Walk down. F sharp minor. E over G sharp. A. E. To the C sharp. A. E.
Bridge, 2, 3, 4.
Now, same thing again. Over the E. That B. Right?
Bridge, 2,
Same
3,
thing.
4.
Same thing as we had the bridge earlier. Right?
Tab, 2, 3, 4.
Same thing over again.
Chorus, 2, 3, 4.
Alright. So we got E, B over E, E sus 4.
Chorus, 2,
Repeat the
3,
same thing
4.
again. B over E, E sus. Same thing again. B over E. And then the
2,
last
3,
chords
4.
are that B sharp over D, E, and then A. Right? It's a lot more challenging to try to play it and talk it out at the same time. It's definitely. Now, if you're now this is like basically bare bones. Basically making sure you can play the chords. The only difference is that when you're starting to play some of these things rhythmically, you're going to be playing more more rhythm and more things that will sound rhythmically accurate. So right, so that fourth right there is like your bread and butter. So right, that's really gonna help you to be really solid rhythmically when you're doing different things. Also, if you're playing, like let's say you're going, and I'm gonna talk more in numbers now. So let's say we're at the top of the song, and um, uh, uh, right. Once we get past that, Right, once we get to that G over G sharp over right? Right? Once we get there, remember, I'm not doing anything different to make it sound quote unquote more uh like the song. I'm just keeping that. Right, so if I want to get fancier, I might add some voicings that might be a little bit different, like a E add 9. Right, I got that sus2 still. Right, right, right. We also talk about in our course. We talk about how when you're playing notes or when you're playing things, you can walk up to these to give you a little bit like melodic type of thing. So I might go instead of just going, I might go right, small thing, but now it gives me a little bit of character, right? So uh I might walk down. Or I might go, right? So right, you see how I went up? Right? So I might even do that fast. See that? 5, 6, 7, 1. That's the scale. 5, 6, 7, 1. Right, I might do grace notes. Right, when I do that A sus2, I might do right. And we talk more about this in the course. This is where you definitely need to check out the course because a lot of the stuff that we talk about in the course is very applicable. All this stuff, doing these grace notes on these notes, walking up to the notes. We talk about the grace notes. We talk about all these different things inside the course. So if you really want to dial in a song and you want to have more vocabulary to know like what to say and how to say it, definitely check out the course because there's going to be so much more nuanced stuff that right, we talk about that in the course. When you go to the 3, right? Right? We talk about that too as well. All right, we talk about all this stuff. There's so many things that are inside the course that really help you to beef up songs like these and give you more ammo, so to speak, to really learn how to support the moment and really to help you to dive into there. So this has been a tutorial of the song "Thank God I'm Free," and we hope you have enjoyed it. We hope this is great for you. And if you're just starting, especially if you're just starting, just keep at it, keep working. Check out the harmonic framework course. This is going to give you a lot of the things that you need. Don't forget to click the PDF below so you can make sure that you have the chart and you can follow along with this. Go back, watch the video a couple times so you can make sure you understand all of it and then try to play along with it. If this tempo is too fast, go to YouTube, look at the song, click the little cogwheel, slow the song down to like half the speed, and then play it and then slowly get it up to tempo. And then remember the last thing is It's not about how fast you can do it or how fast you can get there. It's about your quality. So you want to work slowly towards it, work slowly towards it. I try to explain it as slow as possible so that we can make sure that I don't give you a tutorial and then you just watch me play, right? I even left some stuff out trying to be super intricate so I can make sure that you understand the bare bones foundation so that as you get ready to play these songs, you get better and better and better. So I'm TJ Fisher here with DFS Academy, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm helping you to make a difference one beat at a time. Peace.